Hi, welcome to the Modern Family Podcast with me, MKN. Today we are talking about the psychology of abuse in relationships and marriages. And I have with me today Mrs. Charlotte Myers. She's the Chief Clinical Psychologist with the Ghana Health Service. Auntie Charlotte, welcome again.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you back here.
Yes. I'm also happy to be here again.
Great. So let's go into this. What are some of the common signs of emotional, psychological, and economic abuse?
When the individual is going through abuse, physically, that person may neglect her well-being. She may not take good care of herself as she used to. So you could see that her dressing has changed. Probably this is the person who likes to show herself better.
Yes, dress up nicely, makeup.
But now she'll just wear anything and be going. And then she becomes easily angered and aggressive. Sometimes she may not even want to eat. She may not even have a good sleep. And then I'm talking about physical here.
Yeah.
The person may be complaining of ill health. Sometimes they may even have high BP and other illnesses.
Wow.
So when it comes to emotional, that person may be somebody who may not be feeling happy, though naturally she is that happy-going type of person. But when the person is being abused, it takes away her joy. So she's not happy anymore. She's usually sad, which may lead to depression, actually.
Okay.
And then with depression, she may even feel worthless of herself. She feel hopeless. She feel helplessness. And all the signs of depression comes in. Such a person may not even have, her libido may be low. When we say libido, her pleasure to even have intimacy may be low. Then we talk about psychological abuse. It goes with anxiety, depression, stress, and all the other psychological effects. Then it will even affect the person's self-esteem, and then the person's competency. So a lot of things go into it.
Okay. What about the economic parts?
Yes, economic part, that person may not have what it takes economically. Her bargaining power is low when it comes to money.
Yes.
And ability to fend for herself. And if she has a family or he has children, she finds it difficult because the abuser is not giving. Maybe the abuser is the sole provider financially. So when it happens like that, the victim may not get the money to be able to do certain things that will help the family. So economically, she is constrained.
And you also find that, especially with the economic, some of the signs that you can notice are that the abuser is stopping the other person, the victim, from working.
Yes.
For instance.
Yes.
And then you see the disparity physically between them. The abuser, who is the breadwinner, is looking plush, probably has a car, is looking very well and nice. And then you find the victim looking tattered. They are unable to buy new clothes, or they don't even have a car to ride in. You find that, and when they are children, it affects the children as well. So you find that the victim and then the children who are also victims of this abuse are usually strayed, You find them by the roadside. They're looking for public transportation. Not to say there's something wrong with public transportation, but when you're comparing it to
the
bargaining
abuser,
power
yes.
of the abuser, you find that the gap is very wide. Yes.
Yes, and sometimes when it happens like that, if there are children, the children are used to, they are asked to go and sell at a time that they are to go to school.
Okay. Exactly.
Just to get some money for the family.
Yes.
Yeah. So all this affects them.
Okay. So how can someone tell the difference between a healthy relationship and an unhealthy one? I'm asking from the point of view of onlookers, outsiders, and then the person in the relationship themselves. How can we tell? If I'm an outsider and I see a couple, they are married with children, yes, maybe one has a job, and there's nothing wrong with one working and one not working. But how am I able to tell if this particular relationship I'm seeing is an abusive one, and then this one is not an abusive one? What are some of the things? And then those who are in the relationships themselves, how can they tell that this relationship I'm in is healthy, or this relationship, no, it is not healthy? What are some of the differences?
Yeah, so in a healthy relationship, both couple, let me say, or partners, respect each other.
Okay.
There's respect. Then they encourage each other with whatever they are doing. There's they move together. You see outwardly, you see them happy together. And then the woman feels, or the other partner, not necessarily the woman, all the partners, they feel confident in themselves, in whatever they do. If it is the woman feels good. She physically dresses well. She looks nice, smiles all the time, will not be frowning. And then the other partner, probably who has the bargaining power, may be able to fend for them, and who is able to provide whatever they need. So there's cordial relationship.
Right.
Let me say, to sum it up, there's cordial relationship. It makes the relationship a happy one. But when the relationship is unhealthy, that is when the other one, the abuser, try to empower the victim. And then the abuser will look down upon the victim, will disgrace the victim publicly. When they are out, probably they go for outing and there's something wrong, he wouldn't mind the sort of people they are the sort of people they are out there with. He will just start shouting at the woman or the man. It can be the man. Sometimes you have a woman who has an upper hand, so you start shouting at the person. There's also the issue of withholding certain gainful thing from the person, letting the person stop working so you don't have to work. I'll feed you, I'll fend for you. That is when he wants to have upper hand. So the other one wouldn't be able to do things for herself. And it also leads to the victim becoming self-worthlessness. No, there's self-worthlessness in the victim, let me say so. And then the victim, it affects the person's self-esteem. When there's abusive relationship, the abuser is always jealous, will always want to comment on things that are not necessary. The abuser will always want to prevent the victim from even seeing his or her family members, and will dictate to the victim as to what to do and how to carry her daily life. You have to do this, you don't have to do that, and nothing that the victim does pleases the abuser. The abuser wants to have his way all the time. So when it happens like that, you should know that you are not in a good relationship. Yeah.
Right. So what are some of the red flags or warning signs that come with or indicate that this particular person or relationship is abusive? Because sometimes you may not find this when the person is alone, but when they are with somebody, the red flags start coming up. So what are some of those red flags that would indicate an abusive relationship?
Yeah, so just as I was trying to mention on healthy relationship, it goes the same. Somebody who doesn't respect you, who will always make you feel worthless, that there's nothing good you can do. Somebody who always want to manipulate you, psychologically, physically, or emotionally, and will even go to the extent of letting you feel that there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Sometimes I had a case that the woman asked me, Auntie Charlotte, I want to know whether I'm mad. Am I mad? That's all that I want to know. Because my husband makes me feel as if I'm mad. And he's always telling me some of these things. The person will not feel so good of herself. So if you have a partner who doesn't respect you, who speaks anyhow to you, who doesn't care about your feelings, and who will even not be bothered about your physical well-being, he will not even compliment you for anything. Whatever you do is not good. He will not appreciate whatever you do. Some of these little things and the choice of words the person will use can give you an indication that no, this is not a healthy relationship. This is mounting up to be something else. That I have to be very careful.
Yeah. That's right. Let's discuss the concepts of gaslighting and how that relates to abuse. What is gaslighting?
Yes, so gaslighting is an act or abusive behavior whereby the abuser will cause the victim to feel as if there's nothing good in her. The person will question herself, will question her reality, will question her belief, will question her sanity. That, am I even normal? What I'm doing, is it right? Is it my fault? And believe that you can't do anything good. Possibly you are better than him, but he wants you to feel that there's nothing good in you. So you can't do anything good. Is it true? I can't do anything good. So that is the belief. If believing things that shouldn't have been, but the abuser forces it on you, so that at the end of the day, your thought is that you are not good. Your thought is that you cannot fend for yourself. Your thought is that you can't cook. Even you can't cook good food. You cook and so your food is tasteless. Everything about you seems not to be appreciable appreciable to your abuser. And then there's also the reality of the situation. You question the reality. Is it really happening? Am I really in this situation? Okay, so it's a situation in which the abuser will cause you to question yourself with respect to your belief, with respect to the reality of the situation, and then your sanity, whether you are normal. Yes.
So you find that with gaslighting situations, sometimes there's a situation and then you ask about it, or there's a concern that you are having. I'm talking on the part of the victim. You have a concern and then you want to express your concern. And then the abuser would always make you doubt your perception of that concern. So in you expressing that concern, now the things that the abuser is saying to you, start questioning that, did I get it wrong? Am I thinking about this right? Oh, am I being inconsiderate in how I feel about this situation? They will always play the victim. Every time they want to turn the situation around to make you think that you are being insensitive, you are not understanding the picture well. They try and paint another picture for you, for your interpretation. You start thinking, is it me? Oh, maybe I should have rather thought about this. Then they are playing the victim. So that's the point about gaslighting. Now, how does gaslighting relate to abuse? what is the relationship? If the person is gaslighting you, how does that relate to them being abusive?
Yeah, so when they do that, it makes you, just as you said, it makes you think that you are rather the person abusing the relationship. Okay? So they brainwash you to the extent that you think that you are not doing your best in the relationship. So you tend to accept a blame that shouldn't be yours. Okay. So the abuser tries to do it more, because at the end of the day, he has made you not see the acts, but you just listen to the words. The words and the things he tells you is what you think about, but not the attitude, his attitude towards you. Okay, so at the end of the day, he gets the upper hand and keeps doing it. So it reinforces abuse. It makes the abuser continue to abuse you without you seeing the reality of it.
Especially with psychological abuse. And I think the worst part of, gaslighting has many levels. The worst part I have seen is where the abuser is actually trying to challenge your perception of reality. So I had a client tell me one time that her husband had come home, and I think he had sea sand on his feet. So I think he had told her he had gone to work. When he came home, he had sea sand on his feet. So she was like, "Oh, did you go to the beach today?" I'm asking because there's sea sand on your feet. And he told her that she's not seeing well, that she's imagining the sea sand on his feet, to the point where she was actually doubting whether she's seeing is actually what it is. That's the worst form of gaslighting I've ever heard of. And then when they also tell you, so you've seen a situation, they tell you that no, I never said this to you, and you're thinking, did you hear right? Are you imagining it, or have you forgotten? Or they say this situation never happened, and you are there. Actually, now you sit down and you are thinking in your mind whether your mind is playing tricks on you. And I think that's the whole point of gaslighting being abused, because then you're playing with the person's psychological mind. Forgive me for using the terms wrongly, but the person is now starting to doubt whether their mind is working properly, whether the things they are seeing, their mind is interpreting it well, whether there's something wrong with it. Because then, if you come to the conclusion that, oh, I'm not understanding this well, or it's my mind, then now you start thinking there's something wrong with your mind. That's when they can tell you that you are going mad, you're becoming insane, or you are fabricating things in your mind and going ahead with this, and you start believing it, because nobody would believe you. Nobody was there. So even when you yourself, you are doubting it, when you're not strong in your conviction and you start doubting that, oh, maybe he's right, maybe I didn't hear well, little by little, you start convincing yourself that you are getting things wrong. And when your mental state is not on point, if you yourself, you are starting to doubt the way you think, that's the distraction right there. And this is coming from someone that you are in a relationship with, somebody who is supposed to be your partner, someone that you're probably married to, who is supposed to be your backbone. When they start playing with your mental health like that, that is you going, And it's not because there's something actually wrong with your mind, but when you start doubting that your mental health is good, that is it right there.
So